Okay, today we have Dan Marley, former NBA player, born in Michigan, Traverse City, Michigan. And we'll learn a little bit about you, your path growing up, how you made it to the NBA, your time in the NBA, and what you've done since the NBA. And this is for Rebound Magazine, the official magazine of the NBRPA, NBA approved. Dan's a three-time NBA All-Star, 92, 93, and 95. Two-time NBA All-Defense, 91 and 93. Scored 10,923 points with 1,194 steals, and shot and made 1,363 pointers. Originally named and dubbed Thunder Dan because of his ability to slam dunk the ball two-handed thunderously, but ended up being a wide-open three-point shooter, dead eye from long distance. Dan, you grew up in Traverse City, Michigan. Tell us what it was like growing up in Michigan and how you found basketball to be your sport of choice.
Well, I mean, it's interesting. I grew up with two brothers. My older brother was just a year older than I, and we were very competitive. Came from a competitive family. My dad was he played all the sports. Whatever season it was, that's what we played. And I grew up doing that also. I mean, I played football, I played baseball, I played basketball, whatever season, and just enjoyed playing. And then with, my brothers, we always had a game, lived in a neighborhood with a lot of other kids, and we were always down at the elementary school, which was a block away, either playing basketball or baseball or football. So it's just kind of how I grew up. And coming from Traverse City, which is a resort town, not a real big town, a long ways from the Flints and the Detroits and the hotbeds of basketball. I just grew up playing and played high school football, baseball, and basketball. Signed after my junior year in high school with Central Michigan. Didn't have a whole lot of interest, but I wanted to stay close to home. It was 2 hours away from Traverse City. And then my senior year in high school, I ended up averaging 38 points and 16 rebounds. And so the Michigan States started calling, but I said I already made my decision to go to Central. And I'm glad I did that because once I got to Central, I had a back injury and had the red shirt. And, going to a smaller school, they kind of waited on me being the guy there. And I was able to flourish. I was a center my first couple of years at only 6'6", and then developed my outside game my junior and senior year. And had some good teams, went to the NCAA tournament one year, and went to Portsmouth. Because of Portsmouth, I played well there. I got an invite to the Olympic team in '88, and then things just kind of went off from there. I got drafted, obviously, by the Phoenix Suns in the first round, 14th pick, and just really enjoyed it. I think the key for me was that, a lot of times in today's world with these kids, they're just one sport specialist. They either play basketball, either play football. I think for me, being able to play all those different sports really rounded me into a pretty good athlete and be able to do other things. And I really enjoyed that. And I just loved playing basketball, and it just turned out to be that's what I was best at.
Tend to harken back to the fundamentals of all the different sports, and that's really what you got to do even in life is fun. Harken back to the fundamentals of life. Fundamentals will get you further. And it seems to me like learning those fundamentals in all the different sports certainly allowed you to prosper in the game of basketball and be as successful as you were, because you were an ever-changing basketball player. And that's what I find very interesting. Start out as a center, and then being this being able to dunk it like you could there, and then really understanding that a three-point shot might be the way that I finish out my career.
Well, I think it's longevity. Anytime you want to play, I played 14 years, and to play that long, you have to have, you got to be able to do different things. Your game's got to be involved. And you're right, when I first got in the league, I wasn't known as an outside shooter at all. I really wasn't. I was a slasher. I was a guy who went to the basket as an offensive rebounder. I was a dunker, those kind of things. And I ended up having 3 back surgeries and like 6 ankle surgeries. And then we traded for Charles Barkley, and I knew I was going to be a shooting guard, and with his presence in the post, he was going to be doubled a lot. So my opportunities would come behind the lines, knocking down shots. So I spent all summer that year, 92, 93, that summer, just perfecting my shot. And I think I evolved that way and just kind of became a three-point shooter, a little bit by necessity, but also because I just couldn't do the things I used to do as a younger player.
Right. Let me dial back for a second here. In '88, didn't you go to Seoul?
Yeah.
And played on that team, and you guys got bronze that year?
Yeah, it was the last year that the college players went. There were, I think, 153 invites, and I was like one of the last invites because of the Portsmouth, and I got a chance to go there, and I remember sitting on the floor, all dressed in the same uniforms, the practice uniforms, and nobody knew who I was. And I said, this is not going to last very long for me. But I just played hard every day, and I just kept on making cut after cut after cut. And I guess I really impressed Coach John Thompson from Georgetown, who was our coach at the time.
Right.
Just with the way I played, defensively, and how I hard work. Obviously, with his Georgetown teams, that's how he liked to play. So I think he had a special place for me, and lo and behold, I made the cut and went to Seoul. It was a great experience. It really was.
For your country, man.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah, how cool is that?
We had everybody talks about that team, and I think we get a little bit bad rap because we only lost one game, and it happened to be in the medal round against the Soviet Union, which we had a great team. And we lost that game. I still think that if we played them 10 times, I think we still beat them 6 or 7 times. But we just happened to lose that. We won bronze. And then after that, the birth of the dream team, because they wanted to have the best best teams available in the pros. But that's a great experience for me.
Then you went back to FIBA, the World Championship, and there you got gold. I think that was in '94.
Yep, Dream Team too, '94. That was in Toronto.
Okay.
Which was also a great experience, but also allowed me to go back and I had the bronze, and now to go back in the World Games and be a part of that Dream Team too, with the players on that team, and to be able to win a gold again for your country. So I've done it twice, and to get the gold is pretty cool.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I envy that. That's got to feel good.
It is. I mean, you can't really say, not obviously a lot of people can't say they played for the country, but I've been able to do it twice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people can say that at all. I know then Michigan Sports Hall of Fame, but first in 2003 was Ring of Honor here for the Phoenix Suns. What an honor that is. In 2003 when they inducted you there and they put your name up there and retired your number, and Michigan Sports Hall of Fame was soon to follow, and rightly so.
Yeah, it was. I played my first 7 years were in Phoenix, and then got traded to Cleveland, and then was able to play for 5 years in Miami, which was another great experience to play for Coach Riley and the teams that we had there. We had some fantastic teams. And then to be able to come back to Phoenix in 2002 and to play my last year here.
You made full circle.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
And the send off that they gave me as retiring the last game, and then to be honored into the Ring of Honor. Mr. Kleinzel told me that that's by far the highest honor I ever had, because this has been the Suns have been a family to me since '88, and to walk into the arena and see your face up there with all the other greats, Wes Falls and Barkleys and Chambers and KJ and all those guys, that's an honor that it's probably the one I cherish the most.
Well, I know that it's rightly deserved too, because you put your heart and soul. I know originally they talked about when you were drafted and some people had booed, and the coach back then was Cotton, right?
Yeah.
Cotton said, watch this kid, keep your eye on him. And sure enough, man, you just proved all those naysayers wrong.
Well, it was great because they wanted Derek Cheevius in that draft, and Cotton and Jerry Colangelo both kind of stuck their necks out, and they believed in me and they gave me a chance. And Cotton I couldn't ask for a better coach to play in my first couple of years in the league. He was a player's coach.
Like a father figure.
Yeah, he cared about you not only on the floor but off the floor, and always coaching you no matter what, and gave me the opportunity. As long as you played hard and did what was expected of you, he's going to let you go out there and make mistakes. So as a rookie, to go out there and play with the team that I got to play with. I played with Tom Chambers and Kevin Johnson, Jeff Hornacek, Eddie Johnson, Mark West.
Yeah.
I had a lot of Tyrone Corbin. I had a lot of guys who were veteran guys who kind of took me under the wing, so I learned how to play quickly in the NBA, and it was for a perfect team. My job was to go out there, and I didn't have to score. I just had to go out and play defense and hustle and play the way I played, and that was a great opportunity for me as a rookie.
Did you have a mentor that you would consider while you were here, or would that be the coach, or is there a certain player that?
I think a little bit. I was lucky that Jeff Hornacek was here, and we kind of played the same position, and he could have looked at as a guy like me to come in and maybe take his job, and it wasn't like that at all. He kind of took me under his wing and took me to his house, and his wife fed me dinner, and kind of just showed me the way, because like I said, in college I really wasn't much of a two guard, and then come here I'm all of a sudden I'm a 2 and 3, so I kind of looked at Jeff and tried to learn from him, and then guys like KJ and those kind of guys, they were just ultimate pros as far as the way they approach thing on the floor and off the floor. So I think I was lucky to be able to play a place like that.
Yeah, and then you got Hornacek down here being the head
Yeah.
coach, and just like everything comes full circle. Really, the Suns do a great job of taking care of the people, and they make it a family. And I kind of think that's something missing right now in the NBA is that family feel that you get to be a part of still in this day. And that's another thing that is very envious to a lot of players that are kind of on their own, doing their own thing, and they don't really bring into the family, which the Suns have. Truly a family. I know you're a busy man, but I do want to talk a little bit about what you've done since you played. I know you coached with the Suns for several years. Was it from?
Well, when I started, I got out of the league, I retired, and I was just going to rest and relax for a while, and I got right into the TV deal, which I really didn't see coming.
Okay.
I worked for TNT for half a year, and then I worked for ESPN for a year.
Okay.
And then the Suns called and wanted me to do their TV. So I was a color commentary on TV for the Suns. I think I probably did that almost maybe 5 years. Or something.
Was it that long?
So I got to stay in the game. I traveled with the team. Was still involved. I really liked it. It was a lot of fun, but something was missing. I know as an ex-player, you miss the competition. So there's always something missing. And then when the Suns decided to hire Terry Porter, he was a teammate of mine in Miami. So Terry and I were pretty good friends. And when he came, he had called me and asked me if I had ever considered coaching. And I said, yeah, I've been thinking about it. And he said, well, I'd like you to be on my staff. So I said, well, if this is the time, I'm going to do it and see if I like it. And I jumped right into it, and I loved it.
That was in 08?
I can't even tell you when that was. 5 years. I coached for the Suns for 5.5 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think you were with the Suns coaching from 08 to 2013, and then, which is now, basically, and then most recently you had this great opportunity to come to Grand Canyon University.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that.
There was, the things with the Suns kind of went south a little bit. They wanted to go another direction. I left there, and this opportunity opened up. I mean, Grand Canyon University is a fantastic university that's really building, and to be a Division II powerhouse, which they've been for a long time, and then for them to go to Division I and have the opportunity for me to jump in and kind of head that
Really build
transition.
it. I mean, really build it from scratch, too.
And, we got a great president here, President Mueller. He's a great visionary as far as what he wants and just the way they're building this campus. I mean, just a couple of years ago, they only had like a couple thousand kids on student. Now they have over 8,000. In 3 years, you're going to have 15,000 students on campus.
Wow.
And then Mr. Colangelo being involved. He's an advisor to the president. He's really taken this as his next project to help us go. So I talk to him every day, and to have his support and what they're trying to do here, I feel blessed just to be able to be here. And I've always wanted to be a head coach, and I wanted to be a head coach for the Suns, but that didn't work out. I wanted to be here.
Right.
It's awesome. So it's my own program, and
Yeah.
we're going Division I, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I know that it's going to be challenging. I know that you're going to learn a heck of a lot, and it is different from the pro game. There's a lot of recruiting that you have to go out and take words of other people. I know you've had to travel a lot recently. You just got back from Australia, you were telling me.
Yeah, I mean, we got in kind of the late. I mean, I signed and I just kind of hit the ground running, and we went to Australia, and my assistants are there now, and we've
Nice.
been all over the place. We took a European tour every 4 years. As a college, you get to take your team on a European trip, so we were able to do that. We went to Italy and to Greece and played 4 games there. Got to practice, so that was big. And you're right, it's a job. It really is. It's a 7 to 7 job.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
out recruiting all the time.
Sure.
And that's the lifeblood of your program is you got to get players. So,
Yeah.
But that's been exciting too. I mean, the best thing about college for me is that these guys really want to learn. They want to be better basketball players, and I have the credibility because I was able to come from a small school, made it to the league, played for a long time. So they look at me and kind of think that I
And
know what I know.
and you can harken right back to those fundamentals we talked about earlier, and just teach them the game itself, and then how to succeed in the game, and how to change the game, and how to change their game to make it as successful as possible.
Yeah, I think fundamentally you got to work on these guys. They have the potential, but I also think it's the mental game and body language and how they approach the game and how hard you got to play
Sure.
and what is expected of you. Because a lot of these guys don't really, realize that how hard it is to play in the pros and how to be a professional player. And it doesn't matter what level you are. The first thing I've really recognized since I've been here is that the dreams for these guys, all these guys want to play professionally, whether it's in the European League or the NBA. They all think they want to play. They think they can do it, and that's what they don't know that that's really hard.
Right.
But it's my job to show them what they have to do.
Right.
If they want to do it, I'm not going to say they're not able to or whatever, but I got to show them what it takes and how hard they have to work.
In a way, you can almost hold that over their head, like, you know, if they're not doing the things I've told you to do, you're not gonna make it. No, nor are you gonna make it here at GCU.
Yeah, I mean, I tell them all the time, I mean, you gotta, you know, play hard, and you gotta, I mean, this is not gonna work if you wanna go another level, you're just not working hard enough. And it's okay if you don't want it. If
Right.
you wanna come here and play college basketball and get a great education and go on, it's fine. But if you're talking to me about being a pro,
Right. It's just lip
half a
service.
college, yeah, you gotta put in the time.
Put it on. Yeah. Well, what's your predictions?
You know, it's hard jumping from Division One to Division Two to Division One. First of all, we have a 4-year sanction. We can't play in the NCAA tournament.
Okay.
So that's tough on recruiting.
Yeah.
You know, especially for high school kids.
Sure.
So what we're trying to do is to go out and get some junior college transfers or some junior college kids, or we got a couple kids who are 5th-year seniors who transferred from other schools to have a chance to play. So I think the first couple of years will be kind of tough with that transition. But like I said, you got to get players. But with the resources that we have and the backing of the university and how nice the campus is, our facilities are state of the art. I mean, we got an arena that's 2 years old that has 5,000 seats right now. After this year, they're going to raise the roof and put 2,000 more seats in, so we're at 7,000. We have a great practice facility, strength coach, you know, trainer. All those people are top notch.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
you know, the facilities we got here, I would be surprised if we're not a major player here in a couple of years.
Well, I know that I'm looking forward to seeing you take this program to the level that it deserves, and having the people behind you, and I'm behind you. I always have been, and you know, I was a teammate of yours out in Miami, and we had a real good time. We had a real good team. We made it to the Eastern Conference Finals that year and got beat by Michael Jordan and the Bulls, if you remember right.
Story of my life. Every time I turn around, that guy would beat me.
So, but it was fantastic, and Dan, I just thank you so much for your time today, and I'm just a big
Well, if you
fan
have
of
any
yours.
eligibility left, any
No.
nothing
Well,
left.
nothing left.
I need a big guy.
I do. Well, again, thanks, Dan.
All right,
and,
man, thanks.
appreciate your time.
Yeah, great.